Happy Sunday, guys. I hope you've had a great week, a great start to your new year. I can't believe January is already over, but it is. If you're new here, my name's Christine. Welcome to the channel. I also go by Chrissy and Creatively Chrissy. I post content about my artistic journey, and a lot of the videos center around education, business, art productivity, as well as creativity. So if that's something you're interested in watching, consider subscribing or at least checking out a few of my videos before you do so. This video, I'm going to be talking about my goals for February as well as review how my January went. So sit back, relax. It's probably going to be a long one, but I think there's a lot of important stuff to go over. So I have my iPad here with basically everything I want to talk to you guys about. Let's get to it. So let's start with our January goals review. And my first goal, that was personal, was to start my digital sketchbook. I had plans to use the Page Assist for this. I was just gonna make one canvas with multiple pages, but then I realized it doesn't let you draw on multiple layers because each layer is considered a page, and I did not like that. So what I'm gonna be doing instead is just stacking all my canvases that will make up a sketchbook, and that way it's not as annoying to me. Maybe when I finish it, I'll copy it into like a page by page thing like that. But for now, I just think that's the best thing for me. I have already started working on the first page. I've been really inspired by Miley Cyrus's most recent music video. So that will be something I will be sharing with you guys soon. I'm still working on the first page, but I just loved her outfit in that video in the beginning, the gold, I believe it's a two-piece, but it wraps around. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but that's something I'm working on. My second personal goal was to decide on an art project. I mentioned doing something with manatees because we are going to be entering that season soon, and one of my goals that's outside of art that I really want to do is go see one in person. There's a couple springs not too far from my house, so I think I'll be doing that in March. I don't think it's going to be the center of my project. It's going to be in it. I was actually more inspired by a contest I saw on Instagram, and I am going to talk about that a bit more when I talk about my February goals, so stay tuned for that later in the video. I'm not sure exactly which medium I'm going with. I think it will kind of depend on how the actual composition plays out and what it says to me, like what medium it needs to be in. And my third and final personal goal was to spend at least 1 hour per week in my sketchbook. And I didn't specify here whether that was my digital or traditional sketchbook. I definitely spent more time in my digital sketchbook than my traditional one, but I did spend at least an hour a week in my traditional sketchbook, and I will be spending an hour this week in it. So there's that. But I don't think it really matters. I was probably spending more time actually sketching in general, which is great. Moving on to the educational goals I had set. I did edit these goals. If you guys don't remember in my previous reset video, it will be linked above as well as down below. I did talk about how I wanted to complete weeks 1 through 5 of my self-taught artist curriculum that I edited so I can work on it this coming, couple months. I decided I did not want to do that because it would just be too much for me to try to take on these 3 New Masters Academy classes that I wanted to do that were live. So they're going to be not in person, but done in real time. I decided instead of trying to force that with the Beginner's Guide to Drawing course I was gonna try to finish up, I will just finish the Beginner's Guide after I finish these classes. So that all got mixed up. I had to redo my whole art curriculum, but it's okay. We're allowed to edit our goals, especially if they're for us. So I did end up doing that. I talk a bit more about this decision in my sketchbook session that I posted 2 weekends ago at the time of that I'm recording this video. I'll link it below as well. It gives some of the insight into like how my thought process as far as why I made that decision. So instead, I divided that up into 2 goals. Prepare for the 3 New Masters Academy live courses that I decided I would be doing. And I will be starting 2 of the 3 New Masters live courses before January is over. The 3rd will start in February. I think it starts like February 3rd or 4th. I don't remember, it's a Saturday. The courses are all linked below if you'd like to join. They are the following: the fundamentals of drawing and perspective, sketchbooking in color and ink, introduction to Procreate. So what do I mean by preparing? Basically, I wanted to get my life as organized as possible. I was really meticulous with setting up my planner. I was planning ahead started kind of setting up. I reorganized my whole desk, put away all my art supplies. I organized other parts of the house to the best of my ability. I'm still going to be organizing this coming week and cleaning, just so I don't have to worry about that as much while I'm trying to take these classes, or at least be in all 3 at the same time. 2 of them are only 6 weeks, 1 of them's 12, but they overlap for like 5 weeks. So those 5 weeks are going to be kind of hard for me to do much else. I still will try, but I just want to make sure I have ample time to do these courses. I also had to make sure I had all the art materials, which some of them aren't going to be coming in time. I mean, I'm hoping they will. They're saying the earliest they'll come is the day of the class, so hopefully it doesn't matter too much, but you do what you can. And if you need the materials list, like if you decide you want to join these classes, it's all on their pages. So once you hit the links below, the materials list should be on that page. The other goal I had for education this month was actually researching artist websites, and I started doing that this morning. I kept putting it off, but I started doing that this morning, and I will be doing some more research throughout the week. I already kind of picked a huge, I would say at least 20 different websites I wanted to look at, and they're all by artists I follow and love. I am, again, not going to copy someone's website. I'm just looking for ideas and what should be on an artist website. So like, I already know a portfolio, you need to show off your work, you need to have a contacts page, an about page, and if you have a shop, you need your shop there or a link to your shop. So those are things I'm figuring out. And I'm basically just writing down what I like and don't like about each website. That meaning not that I don't like the website, but I don't want it on my website, I guess. And basically I'm writing down what I think would and wouldn't work for me based on what I'm seeing on these websites. As I'm going, I'm also learning that this is going to be a bigger project than I thought it was going to be. I am going to be using one of those website designers to do it myself because I can't afford to hire someone, but it's going to take a lot of planning and a lot of drawing and pictures that I just didn't think about. So I don't know if this is going to be something that might need to push out the deadline a bit to the half-year mark. I'll have to see. I'm definitely getting inspiration and I'm getting my own ideas from looking at these websites, so I'm very grateful to that. So it's something I would recommend if you guys are also looking into building a website. I can post a video too about how, like, the process of building one once I'm done building one, if that would be helpful to you guys. So the next 2 goals I'm going to talk about are business related. And first one is implement a Draw This in Your Style segment at the end of my YouTube videos. And for you guys to know whether or not I did that, you'll have to watch this video to the end, because maybe I did, maybe I didn't. This is the last video of January, so you'll have to see. The other thing I wanted to do was purchase a charger for my camera, and I did 2 better. I purchased a charger, and I also purchased a battery and a battery charger. So what I mean by battery charger, it's a charger that you plug into the wall, but you only have to plug the battery into it. You don't have to plug the camera with the battery in the camera to it, if that makes sense. So this is an older camera that was a little nerve-wracking to shop for, because a lot of their items that would go with it are either discontinued or aren't easily findable. I did have to ask my dad to just double check what I did find before I ordered it. But that being said, even though it is an older camera, I did get it for free from my father, so I do appreciate that. And it still does full HD, so it's not going to change the quality of these videos. It just doesn't do like 4K or whatever. So the next segment I'm going to go through are stats, and this is something I just implemented starting in January when I did my January reset. And if you guys haven't watched that yet, I linked it earlier in the video, but it is a good one because it also talks about my goals for the year and for the quarter. So I would advise checking that out when you're done watching this video. But something I did introduce in that video was stats, and talking about stats, because I think it's important for you guys to know what you can kind of expect, I guess, because everyone's journey is different, but what you can kind of expect as a small YouTuber like myself. I'm not making any money from YouTube yet, and I also think it's a great way for me to document it for myself, for me to look back and see how much improvement there was between a month or a quarter or a whole year. It's just helpful. Again, numbers aren't the end all be all. They do matter when it comes to making money, but I'm not just doing this for the money. I'm doing this because I enjoy it. A little disclaimer, I am filming this on Sunday, January 22nd. So we still have 9 days of the month left. And that means these numbers will probably change between now and then. I will post a short form video, like a short or a reel, talking about the actual numbers at the end of January, and you guys can just have stay tuned for that. I will post it on YouTube as well as my Instagram and TikTok. I don't know how to fix this in the future. Should I start posting my resets on the first Sunday of the new month, or are you guys okay with me posting them before the month is over? I've been doing them before the month is over, so like my February reset is posted in January, but again, the numbers aren't going to be correct. So I'll put a poll in my community tab probably sometime this week. You guys can just check it out. It's on the community tab on my channel, and just let me know, or you can even comment here and say, look, I prefer it, if you would do it on the first the first Sunday of the month coming. So instead of posting this video January 20, I think it's the 29th, I will be posting this video on the 29th. In the future, I would prefer you to post it like on February, whatever the Sunday is, the first Sunday in February. So just let me know. The other thing I want to say is I am not going to go over my Tumblr and Twitter stats because I'm really not actively trying to grow them. Currently, I think Tumblr, I have 1 follower, and it's a really sweet person who's been following me basically on all my socials, and I really appreciate that they're doing that. Thank you if you're watching this video. I'm sure you know who you are. My Twitter, I just don't post on it that much. So there's that. As of today, January 22nd, my YouTube stats are the following. I was posting a video a week, and I started posting a short a week starting the 11th of this month. So I currently have 149 subscribers, 34 of which I have gotten so far in January. I have 1,042 watch hours, and 489 of those hours I have gotten so far just in January. I also received 3,400 views in January alone so far, and I'll explain more on why this happened. And that's based on posting 4 videos and 2 shorts, and we're not including this video. This video, as well as another short, will be going up during January before it's over. So these numbers, again, will likely be a little higher. On Instagram, I was posting a reel a week starting the 11th. I have 86 followers now, 9 of which I've gotten from January so far. I did have more than that a couple times, but I don't know how it works. Sometimes I'll look and I have several followers less, and then other times I'll look and I have more. So I don't know how Instagram works, or if people are just going around unfollowing people, but it's a thing. So in the month of January so far, I've posted 2 reels. I got 620 views from the 2 of them and 95 likes. So there will be 1 more reel this coming week. So again, those numbers will probably go up. TikTok. I was posting a TikTok a week starting on the 11th. So I had 94 followers, and they all came through January. I had 0 followers at the start of January, at the start of this year. And I've posted 2 TikToks so far. And from those 2 TikToks, I've gotten 1,912 views and 439 likes. So TikToks do well, I'm just saying. I still did lose some followers in between posting those 2 videos, just because I guess they saw I wasn't posting more than once a week, but I just didn't have the time to do that yet. I'm hoping to post more, but more on that when we talk about February. I wanted to implement a reflections portion. I am going to be frank and really real and honest with you guys when I talk about these reflections. This month happens to be very positive. I don't know in the future if they will always be positive, because I know there's going to be times I'm going to be worn out or tired or just not feeling it, and that's normal, and I want you guys to know that's normal. But January was a good month. I'm honestly very proud of myself. I know to large creators, these gains probably weren't that big, but to me and to us small creators, they were crazy. I almost doubled my watch hours on YouTube in 1 month, and the month isn't even over. I also am happy to have gained 34 wonderful people subscribing to my channel. Those views that I got, they skyrocketed because of a short I posted. So I'm just saying, shorts and short form content, as much as you might hate it, is probably worth it. You could definitely get away without posting it. I think it'll just be slower going. I personally really enjoy editing the short form content. I'm still a little trying to figure it out, but it's a different sort of feel. It's quicker in the sense that I don't have to edit, cut out a long video. I highly recommend it to those of you that, you know, don't like sitting and editing for hours and hours. It's just better than, I guess, having long YouTube videos, but I like doing both. So it was enjoyable for me. And I do want to shout out to TikTok because 94 followers in less than a month is pretty crazy. I know you have to get like a ton on there to actually make any money. It's still nice because it I'm sure it drives traffic to YouTube because I do have my YouTube link up there. I think my goal for the quarter was to have 125 followers. I might have to raise the bar a little bit, but we'll keep it for now. And stats aside, because again, it's not just about the numbers. More of you are taking my polls and commenting, which I am so grateful for. I also began to think about what I want my website to look like, and that's really exciting for me. I am so excited to make one because I want it to be this great, beautiful place that connects all my social media. The more I'm looking and seeing what's actually possible, the more excited I'm getting. I've also been drawing regularly now, as I mentioned a little bit earlier. I'm drawing almost every day, and I can't remember a time I was doing that without forcing it and hating it. And I don't hate it. I'm actually enjoying it, and it's become part of my nightly routine. I tried out watercolors again, which that'll be in next week's video. It didn't go well. Not in the least bit, at least not by my standards. It still went better than I thought it would, but my head and what was on the paper did not translate. So I just learned I need to learn more about watercolor, which is fine. I still enjoyed making that piece. I also sewed my first hat with my grandfather's help. It was just a basic baseball cap. I'll post a picture somewhere here for you guys to see. By no means is it polished or something, a professional would do, but it let me know I need to practice stitching curves, and it was still kind of exciting to actually make something instead of just be sewing in a straight line, but definitely I'm gonna have to practice curves. Another cool thing that happened was I was mentioned in another YouTuber's video. Sheila Joy, if you're watching this, thank you so much. That was so sweet of you to do. I'm so happy that that video inspired you and helped you to do your own artist curriculum, and I'm so happy that that video left that much of an impact on you and that you have your own artist curriculum to do now. I'll have her channel and the video linked down below. You guys should check her out. She's also a great art YouTuber. I enjoy watching her videos, and this one was all about self-care, so I highly recommend it. And as I said before, the month was a great way to kick off this year. I'm so grateful to all you guys, as well as my friends and family, for helping me and supporting me through all this. I'm just feeling very loved and accomplished at the moment, so it's a great feeling. So before we move on to February's goals and intentions, I'd just like to take a moment to ask you guys if you'd like this video so far to give it a thumbs up. Commenting and liking a video help put it in front of others' eyes, because YouTube algorithm likes that. And at the same time, it tells me that you like the content I'm giving you. Also, if you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel. I post every Sunday, and I have a wide variety of videos, including sketchbook sessions, other resets like this one, advice, and just painting, art education, all the fun stuff. If you're just genuinely interested in following my journey, the best thing you can do is hit that subscribe button. So let's get into February intentions. I'm really looking forward to this month and everything I have planned for it. I'm gonna start with my personal goals, and then we'll go through educational and business goals. So I have 3 personal goals, and they all tie into January's goals. The first one is to plan the composition and gather the resource material for my art project. I mentioned that I was going to be doing something surrounding a manatee, and I was actually going to do it solely based on the manatee. It was probably just going to be a portrait of a manatee. But then I saw this contest, which I'll link to below, that Camille Fourcade, and I hope I pronounced that right. She's a French artist on Instagram, and she's hosting an art contest with Xpen. You guys can still participate. You'd have, I think, a week-ish now, because it's February 6th that the contest submissions are due. And I just figured I don't have the time to enter a contest. But I really liked the theme astronomer, and I had a really good idea if I could enter the contest. So I think that will probably be mixing that sort of idea with my manatee idea into a project would be really good for me since I'm very inspired by it. Again, I don't know what medium I'm going to do it in. It's going to be challenging because I have very big plans for it, but I think that's part of learning and that's a good thing. Even though I'm a little scared, I'm going to push through and hopefully this will make a decent project, or at least one I can learn something from. My second personal goal is to spend at least 30 minutes a day sketching. And when I say this, I mean on average, because I don't see myself being able to do that daily. There will be days I'll likely be doing more than 30 minutes. So I think at least if on average, if I divide the amount of time I spend a week, it'll come out to about 30 minutes a day. And I do plan on tracking this by using a clock in, clock out app that I have on my phone. It is different than the one I use for work. If you guys want to see how much time you're spending sketching or how much time you're spending editing your videos, I think it's a good idea. And I want to say that this can be in my digital or my traditional sketchbook. I'm not making it specific to one type of sketchbook. Oh, and one more thing, if you guys have some time, I'm going to put it in a pinned comment below, a link to the poll I posted maybe a week ago about whether or not you guys would be okay with me doing some digital sketchbook sessions in addition to my traditional sketchbook sessions. I think it could be cool and it would give you guys an opportunity to see me sketch in a different medium as well. But I also don't want to post it if you guys aren't interested in something like that. My third and final personal goal for February is to fill 15 pages of my traditional sketchbook. I have at this moment 31 pages left. I plan on doing at least one page before the end of January. So that leaves me about 15 for February and then 15 for March. So I think it's doable, especially with my goal to spend time in my sketchbooks. I really want to finish this one, so we'll do that, and then I can say I completed my first sketchbook ever by the end of March. I think it's doable. Now I want to go into some educational goals. These are probably going to look very familiar to you guys because I'm going to be in those live classes. So I have four total, but 3 of them are towards the classes, which the first one is to continue the fundamentals of drawing and perspective live course, continue the sketching in color and ink live course, and the introduction to Procreate course. And you can find all those courses on New Masters Academy if you join, and they're all live. Doing them, I think, will be a challenge because I have to find time in my schedule that's already pretty packed to do this, but I think I can do it. So we'll see. Feel free if you can, if you have the money and the time to do these classes with me. I would love to have a study buddy or someone I could at least talk to about it. I will be posting, the work I do in the art vlog I plan on posting in February. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And my fourth and final educational goal is to continue with my sewing lessons. I spend about an hour plus every Saturday with my grandfather while I'm doing laundry at their house to basically learn how to sew, and he's been teaching me. I really have to work on curves. I also have to get better at controlling the foot pedal because I always either make it go way too fast or way too slow. So I have to find that happy medium. I just don't know how much weight to put on that pedal yet. The other thing I would like to do, but this might have to wait till March, is do a beginner friendly project. I'm thinking like a tote bag or something like that, but it'll probably have to be March because I just have too much going on this month. As for business goals, I have 2 business goals and I think they're both doable. I want to begin to design my website on paper, and what I mean is like draw it out, write down what I want, that sort of thing. I already am having some ideas spark by looking at these artist websites, as I explained earlier. I know I want a page for my portfolio specifically, and that I want this website to be a hub for all my other social media sites. Eventually I would like to add a shop, but again, I'm not selling anything right now, so it won't probably be implemented till the future. And I'm also leaning towards using Squarespace just because that seems to be the one that's really promoting artists, and I've seen a lot of the artist websites actually be made with Squarespace. The second and last business goal is to start posting 2 short-term videos. I currently only post one every Wednesday. I'm thinking of adding a second on Saturdays. I am seeing the potential for growth with these short-term videos. On YouTube, they drive more traffic to your actual YouTube videos, which is nice. I got probably 6 subscribers in one day from posting a short and over 1,200 views in, let's say, 24 hours because of that short. So it's definitely not something to take lightly, I feel like, especially if you want to grow faster or if you enjoy it. Hey, another reason to do it. It also took off on TikTok, so I just think it would be nice to have 2 a week because it also keeps those audiences engaged. I feel like, because as I said, on TikTok, I lost, I think, a couple followers just because I didn't post anything for a week. I still want a presence on Instagram. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing Reels do well yet. This last one did a lot better than my first one. Maybe as I post more regularly, even if it is spaced out, Instagram's algorithm will be happy, but honestly, I don't know if it's just so saturated or it's just, I really don't know I'm still trying to figure it out. But yeah, I still want a presence on Instagram. I'm just not sure how and, you know, how much I'm gonna push for it, especially if I could do better on other social media sites. And that's it for February. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that maybe it inspired you to do your own monthly reset. There is one last thing I wanted to mention, and that's my brother's project. He did go back to college. He's, you know, doing his spring semester, but he still wants to work on this project. So I did mention that I will be fixing the Google form. It is linked below. I fixed it this forward week, but for you guys, it's gonna be this past week. So it'll have questions and that you can answer, so you can kind of get a feel for what we're looking for as far as input. Also, feel free to post on any of my videos in the comments your ideas about it or your opinion or anything you feel relating to the app. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, my brother wants to create a social media app that we as artists have input and say in, and it's geared towards us. It's a platform made by artists for artists. We need your feedback. I did make a video with him 2 weeks ago. I'll link it down below. I highly suggest you check it out because we do talk more about what our ideas are, and I do provide images of very basic alpha level screens that he might have on the app. I also provided a link to the project's Instagram below. My brother runs it. As he's developing it, he'll obviously start showing you guys some stuff there. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in a week. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.